Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more. So what's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm happy to be here, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man, great to have you.
Can you see me? Everything good?
Yeah. I can hear you come through now.
Cool. I've been dying to be on the show, man. I have been. I watch every week, like religiously. Like it's part of my. I'm serious. It's part of my routine. I get pissed off when you guys take a week off, man.
I almost took the week off this week. I was feeling like shit, but I'm like, Ryan's coming on. I'm not going to miss it. So I'm just going to stay home and do it this week.
Right. Hey, you couldn't miss me coming on, brother.
Nah, man, I couldn't. That's why I'm down my cold basement. And, I got like fevers running right now. And I'm bearing with it.
You look good, though, Mike. That's all I got to say.
I told him it looks like the Unabomber.
I'm trying.
Or he's training for a big fight or something.
I have to cover up the fact that I got no sleep last night.
Oh, man.
Can we do that? Is that copyrighted?
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll get hit with it, I'm sure.
If you only do 30 seconds of it, you're good.
See, I get hit with it all the time. The best is
you do 10 seconds and you get hit.
Dude, when you get hit with it,
that's how we get away with it.
When it's your own shit, I get hit with our own shit. I'm like, we wrote
it.
Really?
Oh, that's fucking.
It's funny. I had to write a letter to them to explain to them. Check out the copyrights. It's like it's us.
Yeah.
Funny.
Is this the Monte Carlo stuff?
Yeah.
I love the Monte Carlo stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
thank you, man.
No, fuck yeah, man. It's great. I mean, it's rock and roll's alive, man. You guys are doing.
Thanks. Yeah, Trell and I are
man.
what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, we're just throwing shit up against the wall, see what happens.
No, but you're having
it's like this.
No, but like you have to know why you're doing it. We're having fun.
Yeah.
My show. It's like it's a great hobby. It gives me something to do. Gives me like out of the house or not out of. You know what I mean.
Gives you something to do. Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing it because of the women.
Of the who?
I do it all for the women.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
I know you do it for the chicks. Does it all for the chicks. Mike never changes.
I did it all for the nookie.
How's it working out?
It's working out all
Not
right.
too great. I got about 5 old ladies that never show. So,
dude, that's why I gotta do a ladies' night at McCusker's.
There you go.
Like a metal ladies' night. Like Motley Crue and chicks.
All these broads like 50 and older are going to be coming out with the leather. It'll be a good time.
Oh yeah,
it'd be a great time. Bert, you don't drink, but you might start drinking that night.
I'll hang out. I'll drink cranberry juice or something. Pineapple. So
I got all the pineapple and cranberry. And
I can sit around for that. I'm good with that.
I make you virgin, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Who's the guy sitting in the corner drinking the Shirley
hang out
Temples?
more, man.
I got to come around.
Oh, that's Bert. Don't mess with him. No, man. I mean, it's just like this. Just have like my friends around me, just talk music and shit.
Good time. It's a good time.
It's the McCuskers is like
I feel bad
you
because
don't come and you don't have to drink.
That's the problem. I feel like I'm like, if I'm not drinking, like I feel like I'm just taking space. So it's like I don't want to be like,
No, we'll go outside, we smoke up, we come back inside, and we do our thing.
Well, we should.
And I'll go back to cranberry juice.
We should mention mention who we got on here. So we have Ryan McCusker from McCusker's Tavern. 17th
What's up, dudes? What's up?
You guys definitely
wasn't
know
it a photo like the best dive bar in Philly or something?
It was up there.
Yeah. There's a few different lists, but the most one that we're proud of, we were in Playboy magazine's dive bars in Philadelphia.
Oh wow!
I didn't meet any playmates or anything, but yeah,
Oh,
that
do
was
they
a
even
good,
have
like
playmates?
little nice.
Now maybe
I don't know.
It's not a print
did they
magazine
stop like
anymore.
showing like stuff? Yeah, it's like
I think they did.
Yeah, I don't think they really print. I don't think they print anything anymore. But I'm not.
Well,
I'm
you
not
know
really
what?
sure.
It's I used to subscribe to it years ago when I was, a
15?
horned up, 20-year-old. But the magazine actually was like pretty good. I mean,
Well, yeah.
Besides the pictures, I mean, there's actually. Oh, you read it for the articles? Actually, there's the shit in there was. Actually
It was almost like
pretty good.
Maxim,
Good interviews,
kind of like Maxim.
Yeah,
was.
that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Maxim was
I love the
Playboy
little
Light.
cartoons that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the little cartoons they had
Yeah.
were wild.
It's a whole.
I mean, when you're
it's a
12,
whole different world.
When you're 12, it's over your head.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, who's
real
looking at the
quick-
cartoons at 12 years old?
well, Mike, I'm 45 years old and I'm still watching the Disney Plus, brother.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Gotta
No,
watch
I'm
all
saying
those
who's looking at a
classic,
Playboy magazine and looking at comics at 12 years old.
Right. Yeah. I just want to get
now
Well,
they're watching
back then.
everything on the internet now.
I don't
Yeah,
even think I knew there was
totally.
anything in there besides pictures years ago. It was skip, boom.
Man, I went straight for Hustler.
Movies.
I wasn't messing around. I went straight for Hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was no.
the money shot all the way.
I went straight with
And what
Hustler.
was the other one? There was 3 of them, right? Oh, Penthouse was the other one.
It was Penthouse, Hustler, Playboy, and then you had your Swank. Swank was another good one.
Right. Yeah.
Swank.
Yeah.
I always like.
Swank.
Used
You
to
know,
go
That
always
was like
like
the creepo one.
Oh yeah, well, you used to
Yeah.
go into the
There's
fucking
always the
store.
creeps.
You used to go in the store and you would buy, you buy 2 regular rock and roll magazines, and then you would get the Hustler, just so you don't look like a total crumb. You know what I mean? That was the move.
What was you think Penthouse was bigger than Hustler? Or what do you think number 2 and
Hustler
3
was raun. Other than 3, Hustler.
I think
probably
Hustler.
the raunchier one. Yeah.
Hustler was number
Yeah,
2,
I think-
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hustler's like the
Pretty
most
close.
raunchiest thing you can go for.
Back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh yeah, back then. Holy shit.
Yeah, back then. Now it's a whole different thing here.
Yeah.
So it was what? Hefner was Playboy. And yeah,
Bob,
what's his
Uh,
name?
Guccione.
Larry Flint and Bob
Larry
Guccione
Flint.
Jr., right?
Yeah,
Bob
only reason
Guccione
why-
and Larry. Yep.
that was what
Bob
Guccione's
Guccione
what?
Jr.
Penthouse?
Only reason why I remember his name was the Get in the Ring.
Axl Rose. Bob Guccione Jr.
Yeah, he told me to fuck off.
Kick your bitch ass.
Yeah, that's right. Damo, years ago when you did the GNR show, I was there, and I was a customer at San D'Amico's my whole life, and you were there, and to see you up there, me and my brother were up in the nosebleeds, screaming my ass off. I was drunken ass and like, screaming in like the 500 level, man.
Oh,
We were
that's
so
awesome.
proud of you, brother. I
Thanks,
haven't
man.
I haven't
Appreciate it.
talked to you since then, man.
Yeah.
But
thanks.
you're always helpful when I came to San D'Amico's, But you're
it
up
was always good
there
when you
for
came.
all
We
of us,
always
brother.
talked.
It was
Yeah, we always had good conversation there. We could have had a podcast there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, isn't Eddie Vedder the best?
Talk about Bon Jovi.
The Eddie Vedder. He knows about the Eddie Vedder. He really has been watching.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dave's
I do
favorite.
watch. I watch every week, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny. So, before we get into this week's topic, I want to reintroduce who we got here. We got Ryan McCusker from McCusker's Tavern. Also, Ryan has the Prisoners of Rock and Roll podcast, which is an awesome podcast he does with Bruce and he does with his brother Dougie. I still
Great
call him
name for a
Dougie.
Thank you,
podcast too.
Great name, great logo,
Yeah.
great name.
Yeah,
And really in depth.
prisoners. We are the
You'll learn
prisoners of rock
something.
and roll.
If you want to learn something
Very
new,
in depth.
it's
Yeah.
good. It's very. You get some facts, man. You get some. They do some research,
We're like-
man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. We're geeks and we geek out on all the information that we get to do before we do our show. Like we're taping our show tomorrow. We're doing 1992. So 92 is 30 years ago, dude.
Crazy.
You
It's
know, you have
crazy.
to think about it. you know, all those great albums came out in '92, and so we're going to talk about all that stuff. You got Vulgar Power, you got Dirt came out, you got Keep the Faith came out.
Yeah.
You know, you got everything,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, between 91 and
92.
92, there was so much. 91 was ridiculous too. Which we talked about that before.
Yeah,
Where you had what, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, you know, Nirvana was out. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this a few times, but it usually takes a couple years into the decade to be like, okay, this is now we're in the decade. There's no leftovers from the previous. Like 92 was like the definitive 90s year.
Oh, change.
Like, it's crazy change. How it totally changed. If you look at like 91 and see what was on the charts, and then see in 92 how things changed so dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
The music got so like more aggressive and everything was serious. It's crazy.
All around. I mean, even with like hip hop, it was all, you know.
With Dre and Ice Cube.
Yeah, that was their change. Really, that was their change. Was the whole NWA thing. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, there was a lot of shit going on. You figure there was the you had the Gulf War the previous year, all that stuff, and then you had the riots and everything, Rodney King and all that stuff was going on.
I forgot about the Rodney King thing. I'm gonna have to get on
huge,
that right on. Yeah, it was huge. I remember.
I think that was 92. I think right or 90. That was 90. Yeah. That was definitely 92. I'm pretty sure.
It was definitely
all right. I'm gonna look that up before
OJ.
Before we go
OJ.
on
Maybe that was 93.
Yeah, that was all around the same time.
Or 94 might have been. But yeah, early 90s was a lot of shit going on.
Wow.
It was definitely the change in music, though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've seen it, like, you know, you mentioned last week, you said that the change, you know, was so quick compared to, like, even before when disco was big, you still had the other side that wasn't, that the rockers were still doing rock, didn't turn their back on whatever. Disco was like a new thing, you know? So, it's weird how, like you said, overnight it just changes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the gimmicks, man. Everything, like, whatever, like, the record companies want you to listen to, that's what they send out. You know, subliminally, like, this is the cool thing to listen to.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's weird with the internet now, which we'll get into once we start talking about our topic for today. The internet is different because it's a blessing and a curse. There's so much out there and it's fucking awesome. And there's so much out there and it's fucking not so awesome because it's too confusing. Nothing has a chance. Where before, as wrong as it sounds, they kind of funneled you in a little bit to, you know, a couple bands from each genre. They kind of funneled you in. So you definitely picked up on one of those bands. Now there's just so much to pick from and we have so much to choose from, you know? It's good and bad.
It's overwhelming. You know?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's just so much stuff out there now. And you know, it's great that it's easy to get. You know, imagine when we were kids, guys, and we had our bands and our garage bands, and we had like make demos as easy as you can now. We'd be all over the place back then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You would be like you know, the promotional end of it would be like a step higher, just even for a garage band.
Oh yeah.
You know, even the stuff that they have now, you know, I would have gave my left arm for all that, like garage band, computer thing. Like, Jesus.
I know, it's amazing.
It is. You can do everything you can do everything yourself pretty much at this point. And, you know, of course we have some help with guys, you know, like we have our engineer who actually records and does a great job. We just been doing it by ourselves with the pandemic and stuff. Dave Pyron from Wombat Studios. So it's Wombat Studio. I always say studios, always add the S. Wombat Studio. And Dave does a great job. Dave really wants to get us in and start recording. And it's just because the pandemic and all the craziness, we've just been doing it ourselves. And then we'll send it over to Dave, and Dave will be the extra ear, the different ear that'll listen. He'll add his stuff in and make it come to life. But it's one of those things, like you said, you know, we pretty much write shit. Me and Damien, all the stuff we wrote in the last couple year and a half or whatever, we've done all of it pretty much without being in the same room. How crazy? I mean, it's crazy.
I know, it's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's you know, like the internet's great for one thing and awful for the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's no fun when you're getting hacked, but when you can like write songs over the internet, you know, it's awesome.
Or listen and download his stuff, which is kind of like what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, totally.
Audio formats.
Well,
Mike D.
I was saying Elton John made a career out of it before the internet. So,
yeah,
him and what was it, Bernie Taupin, was it?
Yeah, the lyric guy, the lyrics.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he wrote the lyrics, and then then Elton John put it to music. And supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
like for the longest time, they never met.
It is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost I like the way we do it, but at the same time, I can't wait to get into the room and get that vibe. That vibe is just that vibe. Sometimes I like both things.
I like being isolated.
yeah, man. But
sometimes the more people, it gets too chaotic. But
yeah, if there's more than two, maybe three, then it's a little too much going on. One guy's not being heard, and he's
too many hands.
Yeah,
right. Too many hands in the cookie jar.
I mean, the way we usually do it, we'll come in with something, and once me and him have usually a foundation, or we'll have Don. Don will help a little bit if he's around. And once we have a foundation, we give it to the rest of the guys, and we have them add their color or their flair. And then if they came up with shit, if Rick, the guitar player, came up with something with Damien, like it depends who's doing it together. It could be any combination of us, but we all add our little thing to it, and that's so everybody's still, even though the bulk might come one place, everybody else is still quite involved because they put in their own thing. I still believe if a bass player writes a bass line and it's a hook, it's a fucking hook. It counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I feel. But let's move on to the topic of the day. The topic this week,
man.
I'm saying day, it's this week. We do weeks, right? So this week it's audio media formats. And I made a list here of maybe like 6 big ones. And hey, feel free if there's something you guys want to add on that's not in here. We could just add it on. I'm going to go different. I'm going to start with Mike D today, since he's to my right of my computer, and he looks so happy right now. So I'm going to start with Angry Mike.
He's always. Why don't we just call him Happy Mike D?
Happy Mike D. That'll really be miserable. So I guess before we even get into this topic, I guess who was the start of all this? Thomas Edison? Is that who you would say started all this, really?
Yeah, he started the gramophone or something?
Gramophone.
He invented that, which is the turntable, the record player of the day.
Yeah, so
very cool.
I guess it started from there. We're not going to give you a whole history lesson. You could go watch it on the YouTubes or whatever you want to call it and figure it out. We're just going to tell you what our opinions, what we like and what we don't like, our pros and cons, of these formats. And they all got them. They all got their pluses and minuses. So let's start off with the LP, the record. 1948, when you've seen the first record. It was introduced to the world. The first LP, created by Peter Goldmark. This vinyl created a capacity of 21 minutes per side. It was 12 inches wide, playing at a speed of 33 1/3. So before, I think it might have been 78, right? Something like that. Them real thick fucking records.
The thick records, yeah, which were, they would break easily. I remember my grandfather had a whole stack of them, and I would go through them, and some of them were like broken in half for like quarters.
Dude, they were thick, and the needles were them thick fucking needles, whatever they were made out of. It was like this thick shit, man. But vinyl kind of fell out of favor in the 90s. They were still making them. I don't think none of us really knew, but they were still making them. You know what I mean? They made a comeback in 2007, and they're getting pretty big now in 2022. It's like come back around. So I'm going to start with Mike D. Mike D, your thoughts on the vinyl?
Well, I'm going to say straight up, it's probably my favorite format. And it took me a while to actually come to that conclusion. But, after going through, I believe, every format, and I do mean I've lived and had every format, including 8-tracks. Right. Absolutely, man. Vinyl, there's just, first of all, you open it, you get it, and there's normally wouldn't purchase because it has a cool album cover, and you didn't like it. But, it's just the whole thing of it, just putting it down, dropping the needle on it. Some of the album, even hearing those crazy little pops in the old one. And in my opinion, I think a new vinyl is probably the best sounding format.
Okay. How about you there, Ryan?
What do you think?
Wow. Thanks for asking, Mike. Yeah. I I'm a vinyl junk now. Like I always have been like growing up, but now that I'm like older and I have a couple bucks, like I have a job, so like I could buy the records that I've always wanted. Um, I love like opening it up and it's like the picture on the front of the cover. I actually have my original Bon Jovi, New Jersey
Nice.
vinyl album with me right now. This was rockin' Rittner Street my whole life. I still play it on. Yeah, it's a favorite. I still have the jacket in it and everything.
Yeah,
And I love it, dude. This is my favorite album of all time. You
Yeah.
know, and to still have it on vinyl is awesome to me. You know, and real fast, I found this at a record at a show I went with Donnie Moses, and I couldn't resist it.
Oh, the
Oh,
original
the
cover.
band cover.
Yeah.
Did
Isn't
they
that
ban that?
cool?
Yeah.
Why was that banned? I
Isn't
don't
that
get it.
cool?
That's awesome.
I don't know. I if anything, they ripped off Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It was
don't
kind of
understand
cool,
the
I thought.
whole band thing, but that's an awesome cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good album
but-
too. That is a good album.
I love this album.
That's a good
It's
album.
killer, man.
The first two
But
Poison
everything
records.
vinyl, I love it. Yeah, but you know, like right now, my favorite records is the System of the Down, Hypnotized and Memorized. Man,
Great records, yeah.
those. Oh my God,
Yeah.
these sound so good on vinyl, man.
Yes.
Like Mike was saying, like I think they make it better now than they did before.
Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable.
I think it's EQ different than your CDs and stuff. There's different. I think they have to EQ it different. The bottom end's more
Well, they got
brought out.
they got to be mastered. You know, you just can't like record something. Oh, we're going to press them on CD, streaming, and vinyl. It's going to it's not going to be
You could tell.
Yeah,
optimized properly. You know, you need it mastered for vinyl.
For vinyl.
It's like you're getting like a digital source and you're putting into like an analog thing. It's just going to, you know,
and that's why if you noticed a lot of vinyls when they or a lot of CDs or streaming or whatever, if somebody like, I'm just going to throw a name out there, somebody like the Chili Peppers puts out something today and it's available, usually that vinyl is not available for months later. They're so backed up on vinyl, and the vinyl takes months.
oh yeah,
It's not like
Yeah.
it's not instant.
It's a
it's
huge
months.
thing.
yeah.
Like you go to Borders.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying how much it's back. Vinyl's back. Like, you know, you go into even like the Guitar Center and they have vinyls ready to
Yeah.
be sold. You know, you go
Walmart now.
into Barnes and Noble or whatever it's called. They got a record selection now like that. Like it's back. The retail of it is back.
Yeah, which is
Now
nice.
they just got to open the record stores back up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. I go into a couple of these used stores, and there's one called Sit and Spin that's really good, but I go in there and, you know, the stuff I listen to goes out quick. It's in and out quick, but they have so many. I can't believe how many bands are out that I have no clue who they are. I mean, if there's 1,000 records that I'm looking at, I know 20 bands out of 1,000. I'm like, where is all this coming from?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
I love you guys, the Destroyer of the album.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I went and geeked out on Spotify on all the demos and stuff.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
cool.
quite, I was
Cool to
looking
hear.
at buying that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
The $35 one's worth it. The 2-disc $35 one. You don't get every demo, but you get a little bit of each that was on there. It's kind of separated from the way Spotify did it. But you get enough. You get plenty. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't need to spend fucking $200 or $300, whatever that big box it was. You know, not now. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to give it up to them. They do a great job re-releasing their stuff for their fans.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're so good at that. Like they're gonna be alive forever. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I think they got another one in the works. I'm hoping it's Rock and Roll Over or Love Gun. I'm hoping it's one of those that they put out next. And that would
That'd be
cool.
great.
Yeah, that'd be real good stuff. Would you like to add anything else to the vinyl, Ryan?
To the vinyl, I love it. I suggest everybody get in the record player and put some money out and buy a real nice record player. I was fortunate enough. I had the same DJ at McCuster's Tavern for the last 25 years. And I called him up and I said, you got to have a record player lying around. He's like, I got 3 techniques. like, techniques
Good
from like
ones, yeah.
92.
Yeah.
And he gave me one of them. So I got like this serious turntable
Yeah.
that I don't deserve at all.
Yeah.
But I play System of a Down on it. So it's all good.
Yeah. Don't pick up a cross keys. They're no good.
Probably played.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool to have something vintage.
Yeah, absolutely. Damo, vinyl. What's your thing on it?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some cons you're going to get from me. You're not going to get all good. I mean, I think the price is ridiculous. 40. I would never spend. Sorry, Bert. I know you do. I'm not.
I try not to.
No more than not spend any more than $30 for a record.
I'm with you. That's about.
Absolutely
I don't want to go really
ridiculous.
high to 30.
And I mean, I love it. I love the packaging. I love the size of it. It does sound different. I don't really think it sounds. I don't think it's the most pristine sound. I think it definitely does sound better. If and when I do go to stores, I always like to get like the older original records, like not like the new stuff, because the new stuff sounds, for me, it's more about the experience of it.
Yeah. I can see that.
So I want to hear the pops and the cracks and all that stuff, like I'm not.
That's the magic.
I'm not buying them because, oh, it sounds so much better. And I got it, like being all like audiophile snobby, for me, it's the whole experience of it. It's like being, when I put a record on from like the 70s, you hear all the cracks and everything. I'm instantly transported. Into like 1972 or something or whatever, whoever I'm listening to. So for me, it's more the experience. I mean, it's I've been buying them back again like the past 10 years or so. I usually get my moods every once or twice a year where I'll buy like crazy for like for like a month, and then probably won't touch it again for like another 8 months or whatever. But I mean, it's it is
Amazon's so dangerous, dude.
I know. You know what?
Like
I buy.
You just shop all goddamn night. I do anyway. I come home from work and I just shop.
It's so easy because you're like, oh shit, they got one left. Click.
Yeah. I gotta have it.
I kind of like doing eBay for that. With like the old records, I'll buy. I'll usually buy in there. Or I'll go to like. What's that?
I was going to ask you, what's the most you ever spent on a record that you said you won't spend that much?
Probably that Kiss record. It was like $35.
35, yeah.
And it just because it was a double record, right? Bunch of inserts in there, but it's a lot. Stuff is going for so much money. I just can't.
Dude, I bought a Typo Negative for 45, and I didn't want to even spend 45. That's like up to 80 something right now. It's like baseball cards. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to spend that.
It depends.
Just open up and say, I paid for it. It was like, buy this one and I'll give you this one for free. I was like, all right. My 12-year-old self was like, I have to have this.
Yeah.
So I paid like, I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it, but I had to have it.
What did you get for free? That's what I want to know. What was the free one?
Elvis Plays Hawaii.
Nice.
All right.
Aloha from Hawaii.
Yeah, man, come on, dude. Classic.
Yeah.
The most I ever spent was 75.
That's too much
So
for
much
me.
money.
Too much for me.
What was it?
It was the Cardiac Sing God album.
Yeah.
And it was something, it's like you're not going to be able to get it again. It's I think it's the lead singer died. It was his record. I don't think anybody's going to have access to put it out. So I found it on sale and I picked it up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me at this point to do that. I think I don't 40. I paid 40 for the Ozzy record too, and that was No More Tears. And just because I got up to that point, I'm still waiting for the other ones to come on sale, but I got up to that point, up to No More Tears. So I was like, all right, I got the rest of them. I have to get to see. Like I can't get it. It's part of the collection.
Yeah, it's a great albm. It's a great album. It sounds awesome. Probably
it does. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. Oh shit! Just forgot what the hell I was going to say. I'm having a brain fart about
vinyl. Talking about vinyl.
I don't know. Never mind.
Well, what are your pros? You said your cons. What are your pros?
The pros, it's the packaging. I think the ultimate package would be you're buying a record. You think it's a record, but you pull out a CD. Because I like the size of the covers and everything, and you can read everything, you see every detail. But I think that the CD is like the pristine sound quality. And the other, like another negative with like vinyl is like, a lot of the old records are maybe like 8-9 songs. Yeah. So like after like the fourth song, you gotta flip it over. You're uncomfortable.
No, you're so right, dude.
Yep.
You got it's a bit of a
that's the only downside.
That's a downside.
You're so right.
And and I want to move on to my pros and cons with this. So my pros, first I'll go with the pros. My pros is there's nothing like holding a vinyl record, man. Once you get that in your hand, it's just like it could say bullshit on it, and you're like, wow. It's the feel, it's the smell, it's the taking it out of the package, it's having the lyrics in there, the packaging. It feels like something special. Like you feel like you spent money on something that it's special. If it just feels special, it definitely does. So the sound, it has a very warm ambiance to it. It sounds like something,
warm's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Warm is a great way to put it, dude.
It's warm. You put it on, if you put on Ozzy Diver of Madman, it's got that scary feel or something. I don't know what it is, but it's a haunting. It's kind of like this haunting feeling. Even if you listen to like a doo-wop song or something from the 60s, it's still got this haunting feeling. I can't explain it, but it's neat.
Oh my God. It's absolutely.
You ever hear things that you can't hear, like that you've never heard before? Like,
yes.
So you listen to something forever, like on CD or cassette,
all the
and
time.
then you put a record on, you hear something different
all the time.
Yes.
Kind of like pops out,
Absolutely. That definitely
it's
happens.
Like on vinyl. I have like surround sound. And I'll stand to one of the other speakers. I'm like, dude, I never heard this riff right here that they're doing all the way underneath.
Yeah.
Right.
Only on vinyl, man. Only on vinyl.
It's like discovering like treasure or something, It's like
you hear shit you never heard before.
Totally.
Definitely.
It's like
even like I'm sorry, Rob, what were you gonna say?
No. I'm just chilling with you guys.
That's good. So we talked about the mix. I got that on my list too. The mix is more dynamic. It's it's mastered different than the CD. Also, one of my favorite things is, and it should happen to all of them, but a good amount do give you. And if you buy it from Amazon, you usually get it too. You buy the vinyl, and if I'm spending $25 for a vinyl, and it's something I want, and then they're giving me the audio rip or the download card for the MP3,
that's great.
It's worth it to me. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
That makes my decision so much even quicker. It makes it even
that's
quicker.
Perfect. I think
you really should get that with it. You should.
Yeah.
Did that Kiss Destroyer come with the downloads?
It came with an audio rip. Yep, from Amazon. Yep.
Oh, very cool.
And
I didn't even know until Bert told me. I was like,
you got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yo, Rye, you got the whole. You didn't get what you bought. You got the whole package. You got the super deluxe package.
Wow.
So you got everything. So the album, you only got the certain cuts.
Oh, that's
but
right.
They gave you everything on the audio rip, the live thing. They gave you everything. I was like,
I wonder if they made a mistake.
I have it on Spotify.
Spotify's got it all up here.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
it's great. It's so much fun.
Yep. My other pros for vinyl is it kind of forces you to listen to the whole album, which I love. It forces you to say, maybe you didn't like the song at first, but guess what? You're not getting up right now to change it already. So you might as well listen to it. And usually when you hear stuff repetitive, you start to find stuff you do like about it, And I think that's what we're missing with today's world where everything's like so fast. I want, here next. It goes next. And you could just move on so quick. As great as that is, at the same time, you don't give shit a chance to breathe. And this gives you a chance to breathe. It gives you a chance to really get into it,
like you have to truly listen to it, like sit down and I'm just gonna listen to music instead of living in the car and point A to point B just to get to listen to something. To sit down and actually listen to something is so enjoyable. And to have that on vinyl is killer.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now the cons for vinyl: cleaning. You got to clean them. They get dusty as fuck. You got to clean them. So that's one. And and the needle, the record, the needle. And of course, what you forget about, because we're all excited about getting the vinyl, man, when it skips, you're like, fuck. It's one of those things. But you overlook it until it happens, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And like Damo
I
said,
always clean my vinyl. That's the first
before you put it
do.
on. Clean it before you put it on. Yep. Then you have to get up and change
every
the
time
side.
before I brush it before I put it on.
You got to get up and you got to change the side. Now, it's already a pain in the ass that there's 8 songs on the record. Now with these new ones, because they're using better quality for the record, so now you might have a 10-song album that has 3 songs or 2 songs on each side. Now you get up after every 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
They sound phenomenal. But
then you got to get up and change it.
You got to get up. You're like, I heard 2 songs. What the fuck? I got to get up now. But it sounds great, And that's due because, we all did some research with that as the record gets closer to the end, the grooves, I think, get smaller. And you lose sound. Supposedly, you lose sound. So the beginning of the album sounds better than the end of the album.
You do. You could definitely tell.
I never noticed till somebody told me.
What's your favorite thing to listen on vinyl right now?
Right at the second...
Like what's the best thing that you listen to over and over again?
We listen to a lot, and it's an old copy. Frank Zappa, Overnight Sensation. I love that record, and I have an old copy of it.
Oh, that's a good one, dude.
That is a good one.
That's great.
I love it.
That's awesome.
It's weird. That's the one I'm.
Mike, what do you listen to a lot? Mike, what do you listen
right
to?
Now, I've been listening to Dog Fashion Discos, Committed to a Bright Future. They just re-released it on vinyl and did everything over, the whole album. So it took me a while to get used to it, but I'm loving it.
You're always at her when it came to bands. You always turn me on to stuff. You just don't like normal bands. You like these bands I never even heard of.
It's all out there. Yeah.
It's all out
all
there.
The stuff
Man.
Out there.
How about you, Ryan? What's the last thing or what's the thing you go to usually on vinyl?
Right now, you guys are going to laugh at me because I dig the sound of it. Is Hysteria.
No, I want that.
No, man. No way.
Yeah.
Dude, it sounds unbelievable
on
vinyl. I can't. I mean, I just turn it on in the morning to get some pep, kind of thing. But right when it comes in, and just like, holy shit, like Rocket sounds unbelievable on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. I do have it on record. I haven't listened to it on.
You got it. I don't want to spend the $50-something right now. I'm trying not to spend $50 on it.
I think I paid. I got an original one. I paid like a lot. $10. Get the original one.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's another thing I like. Is like I like the all ones because it's a thinner vinyl. That 180 gram, I think. I know it's heavier to sound better. I don't know.
It feels
again for me. I listen to. I use it for different reasons, strictly for nostalgia.
Right.
Do you ever like chill out, Damien, and just listen to records?
Yeah, and then I'll a lot of times I'll fall asleep, and then
right on,
and then I wake up and it's either like skipping or it's all at the end, and I gotta lift it up and But
the whole changing the side is
something.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, what about
a lot of times I'll just chill out.
If you were going to put on a vinyl right now, what would you probably go to in your collection?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'd probably listen to my Rod Stewart Footloose and Fancy Free record.
There you go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
you can find that
brother.
record everywhere, man. Like every time I go into a record store, they always have it in like the $1.99 section. And there's always like a half a dozen of them. But I love that record.
Yeah. What's funny with the vinyl thing is, like, say I'll take an album like Mental Health from Quiet Riot, which is, I love that record. But I've had, have the record, I have the MP3, I have the CD, and it's been in my collection forever. I couldn't tell you the last time I played it. I got it on vinyl. Been playing the shit out of that. So it's funny how you go to stuff that you normally wouldn't go to now when it's easy access, but because you get the vinyl, like, I'm going to put it on now. It's so, I'm listening to so much shit I haven't heard in years that I had, but now I have it on vinyl. I've been listening to it. It opens up like a whole more experience, more listening experience.
Yeah. Well, it's, and it sounds a little different too. It's,
Absolutely. Well, we're going to move on to the next one. Mike D, we're going to start off with you. The cassette tape, which came out before the H-Rack. How weird is that? The cassette tape, Mike D.
Right?
Oh,
right.
Wow. That's, wow.
I'm going to say probably my second least favorite, even though I mainly kind of started listening to music with cassette tape, really. But I don't know. You had everything from the tapes, getting caught on the spools, and just like you would even quiet parts of the tapes. You'd hear songs from the other side bleed through, and then I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite at all.
Gotcha. How about you, Ray?
Being a kid in the 90s, the cassettes was what it was. Like they were, you could put like 3 of them in your pocket and not worry about them, kind of thing. I got some cassettes here. I think you guys are totally dig. Let me see if I can find them here. My brother Doug is the Kiss fan. He's the hugest Kiss fan. So nice. I held on to all his cassettes. So I have
Killers.
His Killers.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? I got
that fucker on vinyl, but it's storage all
work. Since I'm down my basement, I got one with me also.
And I got his regular
Destroyer.
His Destroyer.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yeah, man.
I love the cassettes, man. I used to love making my own mixtapes.
Yeah.
You could. I don't know. The Walkman was a huge thing to me growing up.
Oh yeah, with everybody.
So the cassette tapes. My actual next tattoo that I want to get is a cassette tape.
There you go.
And I'm like a huge Fish fan, so I'm going to put like the date of my first Fish concert on the tattoo.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what's on the tape. Yeah, so I have major love for the cassette tape.
Yeah, I have one of my favorite cassette tapes here with me also. I have. Let's see if we could see what it is.
Yeah, these guys are going to get me with this every week. Oh my god!
That's Bert's band when he was a teenager.
Which
Steel
one was
Justice,
I couldn't see it.
Set Me Free.
Oh, was that the Steel Justice?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have. I got a copy. Mike has a copy.
Where are they all coming from? That's what I want to know.
You got to put it on eBay. Come on.
You'd probably go for a shitload of money.
No bay.
You got to put it on vinyl.
Yeah.
45.
What's wrong with you guys?
Making a 45.
I'm getting picked on over here.
45s.
Oh man.
This is like 3 weeks in a row, Albert.
Band's getting mentioned way too much. Damo.
Maybe a reunion.
Comeback tour.
The comeback tour. Yeah. Damo, what do you got on cassettes, buddy?
I loved it, man. It was probably my favorite. It was my favorite format. But
really? Wow.
About a year ago, I dug up some because I wanted to put I wanted to convert them digitally. Some things like that were like rare and wasn't available anymore. So I bought like this like Walkman kind of like converter or whatever. And you know what, man? Like I didn't realize it because I haven't listened to them in years. Is that it really was a pain in the ass if you're trying to find a particular song.
Yeah.
Or like say it's like it's a shitty album and there's like 5 songs on each side. You want to get to like the 4th song, you got to fast forward forever.
Yeah.
But besides that,
well, they had the scanning stereos though too. It would scan when the blank spot came on.
I didn't have that. That was too high quality for my taste or for my wallet at the time. But I do remember those, and that was a great thing for that. But it was just fun, man, because you could you're a kid and you could play DJ by making your own mixtapes. Man, I had mixtapes. I had best heavy metal power ballad mixtape, songs that have rock in the title mixtapes, how many Kiss greatest hits volumes, volume 3, volume 4, Kiss Alive compilations using the best songs from each one, the best Gene Simmons songs on it's like, dude, it was insane. And my car was full of these compilation tapes. And,
well, dude, okay, now you're bringing up the good spot of the tape now.
Right. Did you lose your shit? Because I love when they came out with the 120-minute tape. I lost my shit when that came out.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Right.
Wait, I'm going to show you one here now. I have this. This is actually.
You got 120. There you go.
This is brand new.
Wow.
Brand new.
Where'd you get that?
Still in the. I had it for a long time.
Since he was a kid.
Man.
Yes.
I mean, cassettes are coming back, Mike.
They are. They are.
It was it was a great format at the time, especially when they came out with, I mean, for the longest time before CDs, vinyl ruled. But when the invention of the Walkman in the late 70s,
Yep.
just made cassettes like
Portable.
number one. And then cars had them, cassette players. And, just for that, I'll never forget like the smell of certain cassettes you would open up. It to me, it seemed anything that was on the Warner label, any subsidiary, they probably all pressed them in the same plant. You opened up, it had a very specific smell. I still remember it, and I like
the ink.
You get high off that
Getting
shit.
high off the ink.
It was great. I mean, the cons, like I mentioned, sometimes especially if you make a mixtape or say you're like recording like a band rehearsal, you want to get to something at the end and it's a 120-minute tape, you got to fast forward forever. But also like the liner notes, you got to like put it all the way up to read the stuff. But I don't know, it was like my favorite format when I was younger.
I like when they came out with the different color. Remember when they came out with like the metallic looking color ones and all kinds of, that's when it got kind of neat,
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I mean, for cassettes, it's weird because now you mentioned, now there's some shit I do like. I'm like, I do like that. But the pros for me was the size. It's nice, small, easy to store, easy to travel with. Being able to record on blanks, right? I mean, that was awesome. Like these guys said, making mixtapes. The cons, the sound really is not that good. The sound's really not that good. They broke easy or wore out fast. Sometimes you wear that shit out quick, man.
Yeah.
And like Dame said, the display, it's just a little small. Like Ryan was just showing you the Kiss Destroyer. It's like you got the cassette, they got the words, they got the song names on the bottom, they got the little picture. You're like, I feel cheated. I want the big picture, But that's the only thing. But cassettes were around for a long time. At least it felt like they were, and they were definitely more portable than bringing your record out, But
they served their purpose, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, but everybody had like a ghetto blaster.
Absolutely,
easy to put that shit on.
Dude, I remember
they go ahead.
I remember for Christmas one year, I got like one of those ghetto blaster radios, right? And my first cassette for that radio, I had cassettes before it, but for the radio was Duran Duran 7 and the Ragged Tiger. Played the shit out of that thing when that
nice.
Fucking was great.
Nice.
That was great. What was you gonna say, Damo?
Did you put it up on your shoulder?
Nah,
just fucking rock it.
Doing some research for this, I found out, and I heard this recently, that 2021, the past year, was like the first time in I don't know 20 years or whatever that cassettes, or maybe not as long, but they surpassed the 1 million unit mark for the first time in ages, and it's actually been on a steady rise, since like the past few years. Since 2015, I think sales have quadrupled.
Well, what's that go to show you? It goes to show you that even though people want things fast, there's some people that want shit in their hand. They want it in their hand.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's not special. Listen, we'll get into it. I do like the MP3s and the streaming. It's great. It's great for what it's great for. But sometimes you just want something. It's like when you used to get magazines back in the day and you get a chance to look through the pictures. It's different than looking at it on the screen. I used to fucking get Metal Edge, and if there was like Judas Priest or Kiss on one side, I would take one and be like, okay, I'll save this for the Kiss side. I'll save this one for the Iron Maiden side, and like I would collect them like a fucking whack job. But that was fun to me,
Well,
and I'm not above doing that again. I'm not too old to be doing that again. But okay, so so this next format here, I don't know. I guess it served its purpose for a little bit, but it's probably the worst, I think. 8-track tape. Mike D, what you got?
This is my least favorite. Even though I had an 8-track. What's that?
I think we were sleeping for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I woke him up.
Wake up, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Wake up, dude.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. I actually had an 8-track player when I was growing up, and I had about maybe 28 tracks, and it ranged from stuff like Neil Diamond and like Three Dog Night and like Star Wars soundtrack. So I had some fond memories of it, but the worst part, you're listening to it and right in the middle of the track, ka-chink, and then it would pick up.
Yeah, the click. The click. Shit, they were even in cars, weren't they? At one time?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
But same thing, they served their purpose of being portable. It was before the cassette really gets broke through,
Yeah.
Some bands are actually selling them now.
Well, yeah,
Like,
that
you can get them on their
even with the
websites
cassette
and-
stuff. They're doing it like it's nostalgia. Like Ace Frehley just put out
Right.
a cassette box set of his recent releases that he put up on cassette. So I think it's one of those things, like Dame said, maybe it's coming up. I think people get bored and they want to
quirky
collect
thing.
shit, and I think it's one of those things. You know what I mean?
There was a
What do you got on 8-track there, right?
the 8-track was on its way out by the time I was growing up. I remember my family having one, and we had a bunch of different 8-tracks, but nothing really sticks out of my head. But when I was in high school, my girlfriend's father gave me Van Halen
Oh, Van Halen.
Warning on 8-track, Women and Children.
Wow.
We used to have like this argument, who's better, Sammy or Dave, kind of thing. And he's just like, here, McCusker, take the 8-track. So I've had this since I was in high school. So
That's great.
but it's like an urban legend. I don't know anything about it. I heard it sucked. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Damo?
Same feeling. We're both, me and Ryan are the same age, so it's I don't remember it, to be honest with you. I've never actually heard one in person. I've never been able to put it in. I've heard stories, all horror stories about them. So good riddance. They haven't been made since 1982 in
Ghost
production.
Ghost put it out for the last release. They put it on 8, but the same thing. It's nostalgia. They're just
that's all it is.
it's
It's a gimmick. Yeah,
it's a gimmick. For me, the only pro I could really think of is that it was mobile. The cons, they were kind of put together weird. The design was weird with the way the tape rolled. It was just weird. The format didn't last that long, so there probably wasn't that much shit on there. And there was I don't think there was much quality to the sound. Album sound.
I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I was really young when that came out. I was like 5 years old when I still had one.
Yeah, it came out.
So I couldn't
good,
tell you
dude.
sound quality. Yeah, I couldn't tell you sound quality on that.
They were
It
going
was
by
like
came in
the
way
player was
so
like this big.
fast.
They were going by 80, maybe 1980, probably. They were
82 they were gone.
So from like 64
I remember-
to 82.
I remember going to the record stores back then, and you'd see the 8-tracks all lined up, and they were kind of like, you had the tapes and the vinyl at the bottom, and then the top would be all the 8-tracks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, moving on to the next one. Compact disc, Mike D.
Well, I don't know. You're going to argue with me, but when they first came out, I thought they were the best format, especially some of the early stuff. I thought when the bands put it out to compact disc without going through tape or analog first, I think they were awesome. When they started, just copying the tape or the record to the compact disc, there was sound loss. There was, you could hear how bad they sounded, but I mean, they were good for their purpose. I thought you could skipping tracks sometimes is a good thing. You can not listen to the one you didn't want to, and you could program them. But they also said how CDs were indestructible, how they would last virtually forever. And I think now that they're saying it's like 10 or 15 years, and they start breaking down. So if you're looking for longevity, I don't think CDs are really it.
Dude, believe it or not, I still have CDRs that are over 20 years old that still play.
Wow.
I mean,
I have CDRs just degraded so bad that I can't even hear anything on them.
Yeah, I have quite a few there's definitely a few that I had that are unlistenable, but for the most part, most of mine that I listen to still sound fine.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. What about you there, Bri?
I don't know. CDs were cool, like Mike was saying, like when it first came out. But looking back on it now, it's my least favorite form. I guess it was, I never took care of them like anything else. You just like you stack them on top of each other. And, you know, and I thought they were easy to scratch.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like I said, they weren't my favorite. I spent a lot of money on CDs. I tell you that.
Me too.
Holy shit. You know, you know, it's crazy. I threw so much of it away. It made me sick.
Yeah.
It's just like how much money I spent on things.
Yeah.
But I don't see that ever coming back like vinyl comes back, or maybe how the cassette's gonna come back. I don't know. I think even like cars don't even have CD players in anymore.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. It was cool for what it was. You know, we were lucky to have it, but we were lucky for it to go away.
I'm glad somebody feels the way I do about it. So
No, hey man, it is my least favorite form. I like the 8-track better than I do with the CD.
Moving on to a different point of view, Damo.
Look, I can't tell you the last time I popped a CD in, but it's not my preferred way to listen to music now, but it's the most pristine sound. You're not getting any of this, the cracks, hiss from you get from a cassette tape, cracks and pops from vinyl. It's digital sound. It's the most pristine sound. If you don't like a track, you could easily press a button, you're off to the next one. You know, I always think the fast forward rewind function was kind of shitty on those. I don't think it really ever worked properly or something. But yeah, I mean, really just like a record. I mean, you have to watch with the scratches and everything. I mean, they're probably, I don't know, it seemed even more annoying on CDs if you did get it scratched. I mean,
oh yeah, and that was the thing. They claimed they were indestructible. You get a scratch, oh, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, vinyl, you could probably still get away with it sometimes to make it listenable, but a CD, it was like.
Do you remember those machines? Did you and you'd resurface them?
Yeah.
They never worked. They
didn't work. But
yeah, the CD cleaners and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, the some interesting facts recently is that for the first time since 2004, there's been an increase in CD sales.
Really?
2004 on down has been less and less and less. I mean, they're pretty much non-existent, but this past year was the first year in 17 years that there's actually been an increase in sales. So
I'm telling you, it goes back to people want it in their hands. It's gotta be.
Yeah. And I think you're getting to that point where I think kids, you got millennials, and what's the next one? Generation Z or whatever. I don't even know.
I thought it was not
that generation.
Yeah, they're called the WTF.
Whatever. Yeah. That group is actually the ones that are kind of like, buying the stuff, that are interested in it. Like, I think Adele for some reason sold like a shitload of CDs, like physical copies, and like, so people in that age group are the ones that are kind of interested in it. But I haven't played a CD or bought a CD, and I couldn't even tell you how long.
I just bought one, actually.
You did just buy one, yeah.
It was
right?
No, I bought the giraffes.
Oh, the giraffes record. That's right. Yeah.
I saw it on eBay. It was $4. It's probably never going to come out on vinyl, and I was like, I'll just get it, at least burn it.
Yeah, that's where like I'll do the same thing. I'll go into a record shop, and if they have CDs, and if I see CDs for like $1, and if it's something I have that's either old or something I never got, I'll buy it because it's $1. And then I'll just rip it to my computer, and I'll just put it in my collection and put it away. So I always have it, I like to have a backup of everything. I try and back up everything. So I'm going to move on to my pros and cons with CD. The pros: it's compact, it's portable. You can fit a good number of songs you can fit on it. The packaging usually came with a booklet, and it came with a hard case, which we'll get into how they could break after. But pristine sound, and a lot of quality to the sound. I mean, It is pristine. It's clean. It's almost too clean. You could put an MP3 to compact disc, which I like that also. So, like I said, the backup stuff, I'll take the MP3, I'll throw it on the disc. The quality opens up a little bit, and I put it away in case something happens. The cons of it, sometimes you would get a CD that the player wouldn't read. And you could have a great player.
For real.
Yeah, DVDs, it happens all the time. You can have a great player, and guess what? It don't mean shit because sometimes they just don't
right.
read,
I never had that happen.
It happens, yeah. The packaging broke easy. Also, speaking of the packaging, when they started to put the extra cool looking sticker on top, to open up that fucker was a pain in the ass when you had to take the plastic. I would break more fucking plastic things.
And then you get that sticky piece on it, and it would get all the fuzz on it. And,
yeah. That's like.
And if you tried to clean it off, there was a chance you're going to break the little fucking part that holds it to the fucking flip.
It always happens.
Right.
Yep.
So
it always happens. Some companies were skimpy on the booklet. That would bother me. If I got something and they had like nothing except for just the song titles, I felt ripped off. You give me a booklet, I want a booklet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
The sound may be too pristine. Maybe I like it dirty sometimes. That's when you go to the vinyl, And they do get scratched, like you guys said. They do get scratched. They're not indestructible. And the other thing, I think another major point and I don't know why we even got fooled by this when they first came out. They were saying, CDs, they might be $17 now, but they're going to go down. They're going to go down. Not never goes down.
They're always high.
Nothing goes down.
Oh, yeah.
They did kind of go down.
But I mean, but for me, I'll buy, depending what mood I'm in. It's like, I'll buy the MP3 sometimes quick. Sometimes I want the packaging, and if I'm too cheap, I'll buy the CD. So if there's a vinyl, like say, the last CD that I bought was the new Iron Maiden because I was too cheap to buy the fucking vinyl. It was $50-$60. I was like, I'll just buy the cassette for $15.
Guess what? I think you did the right move. But guess what?
Yeah.
Albert, you know how much that vinyl's going for now?
How much?
Like in the hundreds.
That's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like 120 on Amazon.
I was being cheap. I'm like, if it's something I knew, I'm like, it's a brand new record. I might not even like it, but I want it in my collection still. And if I see it for
you got to go with your gut.
Yeah, my gut was buy the CD, you cheap fuck. That was my gut.
I put about 150 a month to the vinyls buying. I kind of limit myself.
That's still good. Jesus. Me and Dame don't want to go over 35. I don't want to spend no more than 35 a month.
God, I spend so much money on vinyl on Amazon. When I come home at work at like fucking 3 a.m, just like,
that's bad. Yeah. Yeah.
It is bad, dude, because I'm up all night. Just like Amazon's open 24 hours a day.
But dude, for me, the record shopping on Amazon is like going food shopping. You could be hungry, you go food shopping, and dude, I get in the supermarket, I'm like, duh, I don't know what to buy. Same thing with the Amazon. I'm like, who do I look up now? And I look up the same 10 bands. I'm like, I gotta find something different, Or I'm looking for what's under $15, what's under $20,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But
I do the same thing. And if it's something I want and it's cheap, I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Dude, you know how many times I got it now, but you know how many times I put Kiss Revenge in my cart and didn't buy it? It's in the cart. It's out of the cart. It's in the cart. It's out of the cart. I'm like, do I really?
I got that on vinyl.
I got it. I finally got it on vinyl. And then it went up. Like all the Kiss shit is either sold out or it went up crazy. And I'm like, $20, $25. I think $20, $25 is good for me for vinyl. If it's a special edition, 35 maybe. A typo negative,
right.
I might go 40 because they go out quick. And then I don't want to spend that for that. But
that's another thing. The heavy metal is so much money.
Because people fucking love it right now.
Yes.
They love it.
Yeah, because they're diehard fans. It's
Yeah. Dude, the record store I go to, they sell it all the time. All the time. It's crazy.
Yeah. Everything's not mass produced anymore. So it's like harder to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the indie stuff is pretty cheap, but like heavy metal stuff, oh my God, like it's
ridiculous
expensive. Like Anthrax, $50.
Yeah.
Metallica, $50.
God, I wish I could find Anthrax on vinyl, man.
They're out there.
Like any of it.
They're expensive, man.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people
so
complain about like the prices on them. Like not the price, the quality of it.
God.
I don't know. Some people are just anal too, so.
Yeah, I mean, for me, once I get it,
yeah,
it is
like
what
me
it is,
and you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't care sometimes. Sometimes I just want the big picture. I want the big, like I got a copy of State of Euphoria. I got used for like 20 something bucks, and it was one of the reissue ones. It was like a yellow, had the yellow.
That sounded
vinyl.
good.
It sounded great, yeah. And it was only like I got it for $20, and I was like, "There's no way I'm not paying $20." It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's a good price.
I'll go into a store, and if I might like look at something, and go, this is 18, $20. I'm like, do I really need this? But then I'll see like a Danzig one I don't have. It's like 35, and I don't even think about it. I just grab it. It's like it's weird how certain things, you debate about. So let's move on to the next format, the MP3. Mike D, what you got?
I have a love-hate relationship with the MP3. It's great for, portability, on your phone or your MP3 player. I don't know, depending on how it's transferred over, it could be bad or it could be good. I don't know. I think there's definitely a quality lost in it. Yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence with it. Is the format I want to stick with? No. To me, I feel like I don't have anything with it. I feel like I'm just kind of keeping it until either my device gets broken or, I don't know. But I'm on the fence with it. I'll put it that way.
Okay, fair enough. Ryan?
I don't know. I was really loving it when it first came out. Like I thought it was like how when I first got my first iPod, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I could put like all these songs on there. This is like the way of the future, but as time goes on and you listen to it, you really notice how compressed it is.
Yes.
It just doesn't sound like full. It sounds like a computer. It sounds like it's coming off a computer.
Yeah.
And, there's no warmth to it. Like what we were talking about with the vinyl, there's no warmth to it, and I think it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, it's definitely going to be around forever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know. I love my Spotify on my phone, all that shit. I'm still a fan of it for convenience, especially MP3 playing down the bar through my Bluetooth player. It really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of use for it. It has like I said, it's really compressed and there's no warmth in it, but the convenience of it takes the cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense to me. Damo.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to the to the internet and everything, and like the big internet boom in like the late 90s is really when MP3 started becoming a thing, and really through like Napster and file sharing.
Yeah,
is really where it really got its start, and then because of that, I guess Apple, they tried to figure out a way how to monetize it because no one else was doing that, which was stupid. Napster, that's what killed them. They tried to monetize it after iTunes, but so they came up and they started iTunes, and then that was like enormous, and then they sold a zillion iPods, and it was an MP3 player, and that was like, I loved it at the time. I had the 180 gig, I think, or 160 gig. I would fit like 20,000 songs on there. I had my entire record collection on that thing. Every CD I owned, I would just like file this stuff, upload it into my computer, then through my iTunes and my iPod, and I had everything. I was so obsessed, and then I had to get all the artwork on there and all the credits.
Oh, well, I would do the same thing. Yep.
Dude, I when I think about it, last week I was reconfiguring my iTunes because I had a DJ gig, and I was thinking, my God, man, the amount of fucking time that I wasted in my life, my prime years, my 20s,
it was
just organizing all this shit. It was like, I wish I could have that time back.
Go back, practice the drums more instead of doing all that shit.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I still do. I think I'm just obsessive with it. It's fun.
Oh my God, man, you're the worst.
I know, I'm bad. I'm bad.
I mean, the quality wasn't the greatest. If anything, it's probably it's the most convenient thing, as far you could email stuff like me and you, Bert. We email each other ideas through MP3s. It's quick. It doesn't take up a lot of space. WAV files are way better than MP3.
Oh, they're huge though.
They're huge files. Yeah.
Yeah, they take up a lot of space, but like for quality,
if we're recording and we send it to the engineer, or even if we mix something ourselves, we're not using the MP3. We're using the WAV file. So we'd have to share that through Google Drive or Dropbox or one of those things, because you can't fucking use the compressed sound going in. That's no good,
And MP3 sales surpassed CD sales in 2005. So that was kind of like, and they were like the king for a while. But yeah, I agree with Ryan. It's I think they kind of are here to stay. Unless I can't even imagine some other thing coming.
Yeah, they'll figure something
right. Like, what else is there going to be?
As long as we have phones and smartphones and computers and all that, it's
convenience is king. That's it.
Yeah.
Convenience is king right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
You don't have to turn the side over.
Yeah.
I've never bought an MP3.
You don't have to flip the side over, man.
Right.
No, I never bought an MP3.
I have. I still buy them.
Never
my
bought
God.
one. I've burned many of them, but I've never.
I
bought
buy
one.
them. I buy them.
God,
I never saw a reason to
Yeah.
put money out for something you don't have.
I bought a record on
Screwed up
iTunes
my computers
couple
with
weeks ago.
downloads. Fuck.
Yeah.
YouTube downloader, great thing.
Yeah. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, before I move on to my pros and cons, the latest thing you picked up was the 78 thing, right?
Classic 78.
Classic 78,
Yeah.
which sounds just like Kiss. Tell Ryan about that band. I don't know if Ryan knows about that band.
Yeah.
No,
it's,
I do know about it.
Oh, you
Okay,
do know
you've
They're
heard
about
about
that?
like, dude, I've been dying to see them with this pandemic bullshit. I wish I catch
They don't
them.
do anything live. It's like a recording project. But
It
Charlie
sounds like-
Benante's a drummer now.
Oh, is he? I
plays
didn't know
drums.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So they're a cover band that puts out Kiss
No.
albums.
No,
What is it?
they're
What is it?
they're an original band that writes songs in the vein of 70s Kiss.
It sounds just like it. It's crazy.
Production wise, everything. The Gene Simmons sounds like Gene Simmons. Paul Stanley, the
It's
guy
weird.
doing Ace Frehley is the same guy who does the Gene voice, and they sound amazing. They just don't have a guy singing Peter, but it's all original songs. They're all new songs.
And it's what Kiss, what they call Kiss something?
Called Classic 78.
With a K.
Class of 78.
Classic.
I'm gonna listen when we get done.
Classic.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
When we
it
get done,
sounds like
I'm
Kiss
gonna go
demos
check it out.
or something. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I love
it
it,
sounds
dude.
like
I love it.
unreleased Kiss albums. Yeah. it's-
Yeah. It's interesting. They did a great job. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Very cool.
My pros for the MP3: you can fit 1,000 songs on a hard drive or a portable player. It's easy to copy, share, or upload. You can buy and listen in an instant. Sometimes that's big. If I want it 3:00 in the morning, I just put up my credit card, bang, there it goes. You don't have to wait for nothing. It's quick. That's why even the download and copy, fuck all that. Sometimes I'm like, I'll pay the $7, save myself 2 hours, or whatever the deal is. And your computer becomes the ultimate jukebox. Imagine we were kids. Your jukebox is your computer or your phone or whatever. What the fuck? You got everything.
There's a sound loss though. There's
Well,
definitely a
I
sound
didn't get into the cons. That's part of the con.
Okay.
I didn't get into the con, but your computer's your jukebox. That's big. You can listen to anything you want at any time.
Mhm.
The cons of it now. The sound quality is not the best. It's far from the best. It's passable, but you're not listening to it's a different experience, you don't have that special feel of having that artwork in your hand. And that plays big for me. I mean, I love looking and knowing, dude, if you told me now who's in this band that you like, I'd be like, Ghost, love Ghost. I mean, I might know now because I got kind of into it, but if it's even when Disturbed first came out, I'm like, I couldn't tell you 3 people. I could tell you one guy who was in the band. Where before we would study these booklets, who sang.
True, very
who-
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We know all the minutia.
Oh,
of-
yeah.
Even song titles. Like, oh yeah, I love
I
this
don't
song.
remember song
I don't even know the
titles.
name.
Yeah,
Right.
track 4. You got to listen to track 4.
Right. Like we were listening to that. What's the record I just picked up, Michael, and finally we were talking about getting Gorgia, if I'm saying it right, I always say it wrong.
Gorgia, right?
Gorgia. Fucking great. It sounds great. Great record. But same thing.
They're
I'm like, yeah, I
a
like
big
that
band,
song.
dude.
I like that song. I like this song. I don't know the titles. I gotta force myself to look at the titles. Yeah, that's big too. Like you said, you don't where when you're buying it and if it's in your hand, you're on the
No
toilet
liner
fucking
notes.
reading it.
Yeah.
You know, remember reading the book and fucking, the liner notes.
Studying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody watched the movie Dreamcatcher?
I never
Oh
seen
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I
Great
love
movie.
that movie.
The whole thing with the memory warehouse,
it.
Yes,
and he's walking through his brain and he's throwing away all the lyrics to
He's
old music. that he
throwing
doesn't
out his
listen to.
lyrics.
Oh, how great was
Yeah,
that?
I got to check
yeah,
that out.
yeah. I love that movie, dude.
I never
That
seen
was
It's
it.
such a trippy
that was
movie.
a really good. Yes, it was.
It's a Stephen King book that they turned into a movie.
Okay. I've heard of it.
It got slammed, but I thought it was a really good movie.
It was, yeah, it's definitely not popular, but it is wicked.
Nice. Okay, before we move on to the next one, my last con for the MP3 is that you got to back up your files, even if you put them on a hard drive, because guess what? That hard drive crashes. So if I have all my songs or whatever on one hard drive, I always back it up to another hard drive or DVDs or something.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, at least more than once, just because something's going to happen, and so you don't lose all your shit. So it's cheap enough now where you could really back it up and just keep it as a backup, because you will lose that. Sometimes it does break.
God, I've lost so much shit over all that. I've lost so much stuff.
Filing that stuff.
Crashing computers and shit.
It does happen, dude. It does happen. And if you have a computer you use all the time and you don't back it up, and once that computer crashes, and it does happen all the time, you're trying to get your shit for the next computer. At least now you have a backup of it. So always make a backup. That's one of the negative points. But sometimes when you buy shit, it's a good thing about buying shit is that most of the time you can re-download it from that same site. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the last one I got here. Streaming. Mike D.
Probably one of my lower ranks of music. I listen to probably the least. I mean, I'll listen to stuff off of YouTube, but it's usually to get an idea if I like a band or not before I buy something. But there's the quality I don't think is there at all. I think it's just kind of, and you got those little blurbs and stuff, and when it's catching up to the internet, I don't know. Not my choice to really listen to, but I do listen to it a lot just to get ideas of bands I want to listen to or albums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough. Ryan?
I would have to say the best money I spent all month is my Spotify account. Mm-hmm. I use it nonstop, especially at my customers. And also things like you guys talked about the Kiss, the reissue. I went and listened to that on Spotify.
Right.
It just really works out for me. Does it sound compressed? Yeah. But the convenience of it, I have it on my phone, right to my iPad, right to my car stereo. Just the convenience of it itself. It's here to stay too,
Yeah, absolutely. Dame?
But I love it.
Yeah.
What you got, Dame?
Yeah, it's my favorite form. To listen to music. Just like Ryan, I pay for the Spotify premium. It's the best, $11 or whatever it is I spend a month, and I listen to it every day, really 7 days a week, because I have it on my phone. It's in my car. I listen to it at work on my computer. Spotify, it exposes me to a lot of different music. Every Friday they got the release radar, and it picks bands that you should check out, new tracks that come out that day that are like everything else. And I got into a lot of new music from that. It's just very convenient. And you know what, if pretty much like everything that I like or that I want to listen to is on there, and if it's not, I have a backup. I usually own it or whatever. I have it on my iTunes on my phone, so I could always, go to that. But you make your own playlist and everything. It's just so much more convenient. And I don't really notice, honestly, that much difference in sound quality. I've never even actually noticed any difference, to be honest with you. Everything, even through data, like if I'm in driving on a highway, it still sounds the same to me.
Well, Spotify and stuff like that are companies that are doing the streaming's different than if you're getting it off YouTube than you're getting it off of Spotify. Spotify's going to use a high quality. They're definitely going to use a high quality. They're going to use the highest MP3 or whatever the fuck format they use quality because they want to give the listener the right sound.
Well, it's got to be waves.
Yeah,
it's got to be wave.
It's got to be waveform.
Because when we upload the music, it's got to be waves.
Right. So, Mike, if you're doing something from like maybe YouTube, you're not going to get that same quality, but you do because the internet. You did make a good point with the internet. If your internet is catching up or you're having problems with the internet, you will get the weird noises and stuff like that. That does happen. But as far as the song quality, it's good.
Yeah, on YouTube, there's no quality control. Joe Blow in his basement who downloaded songs off Napster, putting stuff on YouTube. It could be, remember on Napster, you would download songs and, it would say like, I'm trying to think, what's that? I always remember seeing this one, Bon Jovi, Cats in the Cradle. Oh, okay, let me download that. I never heard that. And then I download it, and it's the Ugly Kid Joe version of.
Oh, they would fuck up.
So people would mislabel shit all the time,
Oh my god! But that's the thing that sucked about Napster. You were taking a chance. You were taking. LimeWire was the same thing.
Oh yeah,
it's like playing
but just remember,
with your computer. You don't know what you're going to get.
Just remember how long it used to take to download a song. It was like some of them were like an hour, 2 hours for a song. You're like, oh, come on,
ridiculous.
Already.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Like I said, I'll just pay for it at that time. Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
But,
for real.
Yeah,
Do you know what happened though? And I'll tell you what. Why I started using like the digital download and Napster and stuff like that. At a certain point, it seemed like the album quality just dropped. Like, I'm talking about on the musician end of it, where it was like, you get an album and it's like, there's 3 good songs on it. And the rest of it was like total garbage, bubblegum shit. And it's like, you know what? I'm fucking done buying albums, man. I'm done. I'm just going to download it. If I like it that much, I'll go out and buy it. But it's like, how many times, like, it's like, I can't get duped anymore. It's like, it's $15 to $18 every time I get duped.
I felt the same as that way because I was spending 17. I remember buying like a Motley Crue CD that came out, that new Tattoo one. Spent $20 for that. It was like $19.99 or something, and I was like, oh, this is freaking garbage, man.
Yeah, I worked in a record store in the 90s, like at Sam Goody and the Wall, and CD prices never changed, man.
They were high.
Oh, they were expensive.
They're still expensive, in my opinion.
Crazy.
Crazy. It's unreal.
Way too expensive. My pros and cons for the streaming. Okay, so for a small fee, you could access millions of songs and any artist you could think of. So I think that's awesome. You can find so much new music. Old stuff, new stuff you haven't heard in a long time. If we wanted to type in Thor. If we go say, if we want to say, look up Thor, we can find all the Thor records and be like, oh shit, this is better than I remember, you can find anything. It's unbelievable. Also, you trip over a lot of stuff, you find like, I love the feature of it sounds like, and you're like, okay, so you listen to Stone Temple Pilots, it sounds like, and then you go into a band that you never heard of and you're like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we found,
I like that too.
We found Amigo the Devil a couple weeks ago, and that's my favorite.
We're listening to
Honus.
Yes,
we tripped over it. We fucking tripped. Mike's at my house. We're playing Xbox. It's fucking awesome, dude. We're playing Xbox, and we're like, "What?" The album's over. We're like, "What the hell's this?" And Spotify just spit out the next song, and we were like, "Wow, what is this?" I think Ryan froze.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he froze. And we're just looking like, what is this? What is this? And then it was unbelievable, man. Like, so it's tripping over new shit, Let me see. Right, you back?
There he is. We got you now.
He's back.
There he goes.
Back. Yeah.
So like I was saying, it's like you're tripping over new stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
Mike, what did you say?
I forget what I was going to say. I was like, oh, there was the music match. Do you remember? That was probably one of the
that
first
was the
ones
first. That was one of the
one.
first things I ever seen. You were the first person I know that had this sounds like kind of thing. And you're like, oh, what the hell's this?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I got so many good bands through that music match that I still listen to today. That
iTunes used to have that Genius thing.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the streaming, man, I mean, if you're online, man, you have complete access. I think me and my wife paid $15 for both of us. It's so fucking worth it. You really don't have to buy another record at all, ever. I like to buy for my own having. I like to have a collection of something. It's just my own craziness. And all three of you guys are almost the same way, I would say. Maybe it's a guy thing, I don't know. But like my wife,
sure,
she don't give a fuck. She hasn't bought a CD, record, album, tape, whatever, in 25 years. But the streaming thing's great for her. She listens to what she likes.
Yeah.
You know,
same 20 songs.
Same 20 songs. Yeah. I love Stevie Nicks. Have you heard the new album? No, I don't care about the new album. I'm like, yeah, but you love Stevie Nicks. Only Stevie Nicks between this time and that time.
We could do that too, though. I love Iron Maiden. Have you listened to the new album? It sucked.
Yeah, but at least we'll listen to it. You won't even, dude. When Motley Crue got Karabi in the band, and I was like, "Oh, Karabi's the best," blah blah. She wouldn't even put it on. She still hasn't heard a song.
No.
She just won't even listen
that album
to it.
Is awesome.
It's the best.
That album's fucking great.
It's the best. Yeah. It's so good. So, man, and it's so convenient. I also use it for everything. It's probably, if back in the day, I'm gonna say low balls. We all probably bought at least 1 to 3 CDs a week. Probably every one of us bought at least 1 to 3 CDs a week. And you don't really have to buy any of it. You don't have to buy any of it. You can just listen to it. Yeah. Downside of that, on the other side, the artist kind of gets screwed a little bit, probably. But I'll tell you what.
They should fix that.
It's a little lopsided.
I don't feel bad for them.
I would break Mike's balls because, and you guys might have the same deal, right? I would break Mike's balls because the music stuff's different than the podcast stuff. So on the music end of stuff, because we're on Spotify, and Mike D would be like, "Man, these fucking commercials, these commercials." I'm like, "Dude, don't hate on the commercials. The commercials are paying us some money." So
yeah.
Dude, we and it might not be a lot of
Premium,
money,
you don't.
But it helps, man.
Spotify Premium, you don't have any of the commercials, so it's
me and Dame checked what we had in the bank, and we're like, wow, this is from Spotify. Love those commercials. Play some more commercials,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's awesome that you do. That's fucking great.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's it's a little
You're
more income
doing
than we
it
had
though,
a month.
man. You're making it happen.
Yeah. It keeps it going.
Yeah, man. You guys are doing an awesome job.
But it's we just got to try and get the podcast up where that happens, which who the fuck knows? It's a whole different animal,
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I love the streaming thing. I love it. I love as a whole for this whole episode, I love that everything is right now. You can get it immediately. But I also favor that it's special. So when you can get everything immediately, it's not as special, that's kind of where I'm at. I like both ends. I'm being greedy here, but I like the instant, but it's not special.
I don't know if you guys feel this way, but if something new comes out on Spotify, I'll usually download it and have it, on my phone, on my Spotify. But then there's no liner notes. So it's like Wikipedia is now the new liner notes.
Absolutely. And that's not even 100%, but that is the dude. You know what? I downloaded this thing called Music Bee.
But again,
Mike,
I was going to say, but again, it's like when you listen to stuff that's streaming or whatever. Oh, you're just, my favorite band put an album out, or you might listen. Okay, first few seconds of the song, skip. Next song, skip. I didn't like that album. So it's like, but if you go back and you listen to it again a couple years later, you might be like, wait, is this the same album? I skipped everything and hated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you have something physical, so it's like you feel like you got it. I spent money on this. Yeah.
So I think it's streaming again. It's too easy just to ignore stuff that you find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like going back,
it's great to find new stuff.
Absolutely. Too, absolutely. And that's perfect for that, and it's like Damien said before, and I've done this with the album covers and you're downloading everything. It's taking so much time. So now I have this thing called Music Bee, and it's the program that organizes your MP3 files and stuff like that. And when it comes up, there's a section where, you hit lyrics, which is because I want to know the lyrics sometimes. So you'll hit lyrics, and sometimes there'll be lyrics on there, and sometimes there won't be no lyrics. So if you hit search, it'll take you to one of the lyric sites. Then you can copy and paste. I did about 4 or 5, and I'm like, all right, really? I'm going to do this for every fucking song? I don't think so.
That's going to take forever.
through your phone has lyrics now on each song.
I've seen that, Dane.
Cool.
I saw that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
Cool.
We did.
Spotify.
Yeah. Through your phone.
Yeah.
I got to check that out.
We on my podcast, we did a whole episode about the song American Pie. So that came in real handy to go through verse to verse.
Oh,
see
yeah,
what we were singing about. So that was the first time I noticed they had that. I was like, when did they start doing this? This is brilliant with all the words on there.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
Some of them have videos on the phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I seen the video thing. Yeah. Definitely, man. So as we're wrapping up, I said my piece as far as the media goes. Mike D.
I'm pretty good.
You good? Ryan?
I mean,
we know where you're at. Yeah, we know where you're at. Ryan?
What's that, brother?
What's your synopsis on the whole media thing?
I don't know. Besides, to me, sounding compressed, I had no problem with it.
With the streaming and stuff like that, the MP3 stuff. Yeah. Yep.
And I love it. I love the whole
convenience of
library that I have through it, everything about it. But just if I have any problem with it, maybe sounds a little, what I said,
a little compressed. Yep. How about you, Demo?
Yeah, I mean, just the world we live in now, and everything going on. Trying to be an adult, fast paced life, going to work and trying to do things. Streaming is the most convenient option for me.
It's great because if you don't like something, you can try something else.
Now I kind of wish I could buy, just like an album flat of everything that I like.
That would be cool, like back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, with liner notes, it'll be, I feel like I actually, you get everything, because a lot of times you don't know who wrote the songs now.
Yeah,
like
you have to
I
do
gotta
research.
go on Wikipedia,
Yeah. You have to. That's why, and me and Ryan actually talked a couple of days ago about this. That's why, like, doing this show is so much fun because you got to put work in, and we all have done this now, so we all know that you can't just go in and fly every time. You got to know a little bit what you're talking about, and we all don't know everything, so we do some research. It's actually fun once you get into the research and going, oh shit, I never knew that. Wow, check that out, because there is so much shit. It's actually like you were saying, it was fun, right? Right? It's fun, kind of.
I love it. I'm like such a geek. I love to do the research, and especially the learn about music shit that I didn't know about. I find really interesting, especially the recording process of things. Like we did a Sun Records episode, and we did this whole stick about how they had this echo in the recording, and we explained how it was done. Like, man, that shit like geeks me out, man.
Yeah,
like I love it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's it's the research. It's like even the movies. It's making me watch something maybe I didn't want to watch, and I watch it and go, "Oh, that was great," or "Ooh, that was really bad." But it's forcing you to try new shit or go back and remembering shit that you kind of forgot. I'm finding like a whole new life of entertainment stuff,
But let me ask you guys this, all three guys. Do you guys have fun doing it?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then keep on doing it, guys.
Yeah.
Keep on doing
reason.
it.
Yeah, it's the only reason to.
It's fun. Yeah. We get a chance to bullshit with our friends every week. It's great,
Yeah.
It's great. And you guys have great guests on there. It was the first time I saw Angel in like 20 years when she was on. That was awesome. I don't know Ahmet, but it was really
out of
cool
control
to see Ahmet. I seen him in concert with Guns N' Roses, and you guys opened up for Bon Jovi. To see his personality is really nice. He's a really nice guy. Seems like
he's very detail oriented.
Yeah, dude, the Kiss stuff is great.
I was surprised how much he knew about Kiss.
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it.
It's great, man. Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah, we're having fun, and we're trying to get some more guests. Actually, we want to get you guys all in at the same time. If we could get you, Doug, and Bruce in one night, I still want to do that battle. I want to do the debate of Ramones versus the Misfits. I still want to do that debate,
dude. We could do this thing in the bar. We could set out the whole bar and like set up a courtroom.
That'd be great.
You know, and we'll find a judge. We'll find a judge somewhere. We'll do it.
Yeah. That'll be fun, dude.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
I know who I go with though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I just gotta say. Let's go.
Yeah, it should be a good debate. It'll be a tough debate. Yeah. But yeah, man. So Ryan,
like
thank you so much for coming on.
Match.
Yeah. Like back in the day.
Oh God. Like guys, I'm just not saying it. I look forward to you guys every week. Please keep up the good work and thank you for having me on. And dude, you guys got to do a Bon Jovi episode and you got to have me back.
Oh yeah,
we will.
Definitely.
Totally.
But so Ryan, we have Ryan McCusker here from McCuskers, 17th and Shunk. Awesome bar, awesome people. Know them guys since I was a kid, man. How long's the bar been there for, Ryan?
Yeah.
Long time, right?
My father opened the bar in 1968.
Wow.
And I've been working there. Yeah. And I've been working there since 1997.
Wow.
50,
you know,
52?
it's like I used to do my homework at the bar.
You grew up
my grandma worked there, my cousins, my uncles.
Yeah.
And now it's just me, Doug, and my dad. And you know, we keep on trucking. We had a long we were closed for 15 months for the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. But you know, now we're back and we're, you know, start rocking again and little by little start coming back.
And I will say, not that I'm a drinker, but I would go to the bar here and there, you know, to see because all my buddies were there. So I will say, never no bullshit. It's the smoothest, easiest, no bullshitting bar ever around here. There's no bullshit ever. You know,
that's the
best
why
part
we do
it,
dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do it.
I can go
it's
there
like,
and chill, not have to worry about somebody breaking somebody's balls, you know?
But you know what I really dig, Bert, is when Michelle comes in with her friends. Like they chill out. No, but they feel comfortable enough that they can come in and
the
chill out by
themselves.
themselves.
Because there's never no trouble. You know, which is great. That's big on me because I can't stand people.
Dude, nah, I'd kill somebody if they mess with them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that factor's big because I'm not really a bar guy, but I feel comfortable. You know, I feel comfortable. You know,
please come, Bert. Guys, just come down. You don't have to drink. Come down. We'll talk metal.
I'll drink.
I'm serious. You could drink, Dave. I know you like a couple beers. These other two guys. I don't know.
What nights you working?
We like the food. Yeah, food.
I'm there. Yeah, we don't do food anymore. We stopped doing food. I work Tuesday nights and I work Friday nights, and I work rest day work kind of thing. But you guys come in on a Tuesday night, it'd be just like chilling. We'll play Kiss all night.
Yeah. I want to go when you have something crazy, like one of those trivia nights or something like that. You were doing for a little bit. You was having like game night at one time, right?
We were doing like bingo night. That was fun.
Yeah, I go out for shit like that. That'd be fun.
Dude, a customer of mine just bought us a karaoke machine.
Oh, it's awesome.
So we're like trying to the best moment to pull it out for the first time.
That'll be
funny. Oh my God.
That's what we got to do on a Tuesday. We'll put Mike on the karaoke machine.
Oh, that's gonna be horrible.
That'll be good.
Yeah, you can hear the greatest hits of Honus.
That'd be
awesome. That'll be good, man. That'll be good. Also, Prisoners of Rock and Roll podcast, great podcast. I catch as much as I could, and when I do, I love it. Same thing, a lot of research. And I like that podcast because I find out shit that I like, but I never, you know, I'm a metal guy, you know, the rock stuff, the metal stuff, you know, but you know, the blues and where it all came from. And even you talk that you might do, and I'm not a big jazz guy. I don't know much about jazz, but you're a big jazz guy. You're talking about I might listen to the jazz, or I will listen to the jazz episode because I don't know shit. Like, so I'll learn. And then 2 hours, an hour and a half, whatever it is, I'll learn, you know, and it might make me interested to go, hey, you know what? That Miles Davis record that Donnie keeps buying. Maybe I'll listen to it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to open your mind to all kinds of music, man. You know, the world is your oysters. You use your ears. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. Looking forward to having you back. Man.
You guys are the
Yeah,
best,
brother.
man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Damian, you're like one of the best drummers I know. Keep up the good work. When's the next Monte Carlo concert show?
We don't have anything.
Nothing
booked
yet.
right now.
Nothing yet. We're
Waiting for the CD to get done, and then
You guys don't have anything.
we're just recording, waiting to pick our spots with certain shows and stuff like that. So we figure, we'll just wait until we get something that that's worth it for us to do. We're not going to play out a lot. We're only going to play certain shows probably.
Yeah,
and then just keep recording and putting stuff out. And
that's cool. I love the video. The video you guys made was awesome.
Oh, cool.
That was real fun. The video
Wait
you
till you
guys
see
made.
the next one.
Yeah, the next one's crazy.
Yeah. Is
that'll
Mike D in it?
No, we should get him in one. No, wait, the best
He'll
one.
be in the next.
The best one
next one.
when we shot the video for the Animal song, and I'm doing my thing, whatever, and Mike's looking at me. I'm trying not to look at Mike because Mike came down to watch us do it. Dude, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm looking at Mike. Mike's probably going, look at this fucking idiot.
I'm like, wait, I'll tell you, I never saw Bert dance like this. He's doing these little ballerina twirls and kicking up dirt like the fucking Tasmanian devil. And I'm like, I can't even watch this. So I had to go behind one of the car doors that was open so I couldn't watch him. Because he tells me if I start laughing, he's going to start laughing. So I just had to walk away. I couldn't even.
Word.
Yes.
Well, I'll be looking for you guys, man. I'll be watching.
Same here, man.
I'll be looking for you.
Same here. When's your next episode coming out for the podcast?
We'll have one out. Our next episode, like I said earlier, we're doing 1992, and that will be out on next Monday. So cool. I don't know when the show's coming on. So by the time this show comes on, we'll be on Spotify.
Okay, cool.
Same time then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys
Thank you guys, I really do appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, man. If you guys haven't heard Prisoners of Rock and Roll, make sure you guys check it out. If you're in the South Philly area, 17th and Chunk, check out McCuskers. Say hi to Ryan. Say hi to Doug. Say hi to Bruce if he's floating around. And of course, say hi to Johnny. Their dad, Johnny's an awesome guy. So,
thank you. Thank you.
Right. We're going to have you on again soon. Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. We'll see you next week. See ya.
Take care.
Yeah.